script.
What do you mean?
Send me an email with the script. I did not get it.
Okay.
Why are you not?
Is there anything you'd like us to do prior to speaking? I'm going to introduce everyone, or name spellings, you do it after?
Do it first.
Okay, you just want us to go around here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My name's Daniel Camp. I'm a Beaver County Commissioner, D-A-N-I-E-L-C-A-M-P. To my left,
Commissioner Tony Amadeo, A-M-A-D-I-O.
my right, Commissioner.
Commissioner Jack Manning, J-C-K-M-A-N-N-I-N-G.
To my immediate right, we have Director Eric Brewer.
Eric Brewer, Director of Emergency Services, E-R-I-C-B-R-E-W-E-R.
To his right, we have Deputy Director Kevin Whipple.
Kevin Whipple, K-E-V-I-N, Whipple, W-H-I-P-P-L-E, Deputy Director.
And to his right, we have Beaver County Solicitor Garen Fidelis.
Garen Fidelis, G-A-R-E-N-F-E-D-E-L-E-S.
Good evening, everyone. I first would like to thank you for coming on such a short notice. I would like to acknowledge my colleagues again, Beaver County Commissioner Tony Amadeo to my left, Beaver County Commissioner Jack Manning to my right, Solicitor Garen Fidelis, Beaver County Director of Emergency Services Eric Brewer, and Deputy Director of Emergency Services Kevin Whipple. Beaver County's Emergency Management Services Office was made aware tonight at 7 p.m. this evening by representatives from the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency. A resident of Beaver County has tested positive for COVID-19. We do not have any other information at this time to the identity of the individual, where the Beaver County resident resides, or how they contracted the virus. As there is now a confirmed case in Beaver County, the Board of Commissioners, and following with the move made by Governor Tom Wolf earlier throughout the state, is declaring Beaver County to be a disaster emergency county. We urge our residents to follow the CDC's and the PA Department of Health's recommendations as they pertain to attempting to slow the spread of this virus. We ask the public to refrain from coming to county facilities unless absolutely required to do so. The Beaver County Board of Commissioners, along with our president judge and the court system, will continue to take steps in an attempt to limit the foot traffic required to come to the courthouse. County officials are meeting daily in an attempt to review protocol and monitor the situation. At this time, we are available for any comments or questions.
Anything you can tell us about the resident, please?
Director Brewer?
Please step up to the.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there's not a lot to say other than we did ask the questions where about in the county, and they would not or could not confirm where at. No certain area, obviously no names were given, so
Male, female, approximate age?
unknown, like I said.
Are they in a hospital at this time?
As Director Brewer said, when PEMA notified our emergency management services, they did not provide the Board of Commissioners or Beaver County Emergency Management Services any other information other than we have one positive case of COVID-19.
Can you said you don't know where this person is right now?
At this time, we do not have any knowledge of where the person is.
Or what contact, if any, have they been in contact with other people?
The protocol throughout the state is to make any county commissioners across the Commonwealth that has the first confirmed case aware that there's one in the county. So we have that case and we're telling the public.
What are your next steps? I know that there's not a lot that you can release to us, perhaps because of HIPAA laws, but what is your next step?
I think our as a Board of Commissioners, our first steps, first and foremost, is the safety of our residents. I think it will come to reality to the residents in Beaver County that this is a serious matter. We urge them to continue to follow the CDC and PA Department of Health guidelines. Governor Tom Wolf put that out today. Stay home, stay safe. That's what we want to tell our individuals to do throughout the county is stay home if you can, and don't get too anxious and being inside the house too long.
These guidelines have been for weeks from the CDC to stay at home, to wash your hands, to be clean, to, keep yourself distanced
Yes.
from people. And yet people are not doing this. Are you shutting your bars down? Are you following all the PA laws and everything that they're saying? And the federal government came out today saying groups of 10 or less, no more.
So that would have to come from the state or federal government. As a fourth-class county, the Board of Commissioners doesn't have that authority to shut down any bars or restaurants. We could only encourage our residents to stay home and not partake in those activities.
I mean, I will interject that
Can you step into the
Yes, sir.
sorry.
we've been talking about this for 10 days. We've been working on plans. We've been implementing what we can implement within our purview. And this certainly ratchets it up to another level. And we hope that the general public is taking this serious now that we have an actual case here in Beaver County and is following the guidelines that were issued by the governor and the CDC. And that's what we've been following along and going through different phases.
Is there a timeline of when you'll get any more information about this resident? Do we know anything like that?
The
What's
Department of
the
Health, the Pennsylvania Department of Health is the lead agency on this. We're hoping that they'll give us some more information, but this is a first for all of us.
When you say you don't know where this resident is, does the resident live here? Is the resident in your area? Is the resident at a hospital?
All we can say at this time is we have one confirmed case in Beaver County.
The most important thing we need to do is to make sure our people stayed hunkered down in their homes. Listen, I have 4 grandchildren. I spent 2 days with them. It's hard. The kids are used to going out and playing and having a good time. But we have to do this. We have to stay home. We have to wash our hands. And when we sneeze, we have to sneeze into our elbow. And the next update, we're meeting every day at 10 o'clock. And things change daily, so I'm sure we'll see you people again.
Are you guys doing anything differently about your meetings when you do meet? Are you on conference calls, or are you in person? How's that structured?
Well, we just started to tell people not to come unless you absolutely have to be here.
Okay.
So hopefully we're going to cancel meetings, work sessions if there's no business to conduct. I'll give you an example. Hey, I'm a year and a half from being 70 years old. When our meetings are over, I usually talk, I get up and I go out that door and go back into my office.
In terms of when did you find out? When did PEMA notify emergency management?
I got a call from Commissioner Camp at about 7:20.
Okay, and then, so the State Department of Health has been helpful in at least letting us know potential community spread in terms of, has this person been out of the country? Have they been in contact with someone that's been out of the country? So at least people around them could mitigate their own fear. When will that be available?
We don't have any information yet, and I don't know how long it's going to take. But as soon as we know, as soon as we can release any information, we will. But at this point, we have no information to release.
If you're telling people to stay indoors, what do you expect how's that going to impact the businesses in Beaver County?
Well, it's going to hurt the businesses of Beaver County, but we have to do the best we can to stop the spread.
Can anyone talk on the cracker plant? Is this case going to affect the work being done at the cracker plant?
As of 4 p.m. today, we had a conference call with Shell Pennsylvania. They are increasing their due diligence. They are adding buses. They are separating their lunches, doing sterile cleaning between lunches. As of right now, they will still continue to operate as a manufacturing facility to be built. We have not had any contact with them since 4 p.m. since this case has broke. We advised them that we will be meeting every day at 10 a.m. So if there's any information to get to us, please get it to us before 10.
Is there any fear that this case could be connected to someone that works there.
At this,
No more than anybody else in Beaver County, quite frankly. To me, it's almost immaterial, the details about this person. The fact is, we've got a confirmed case, and we need to start adhering to the guidelines and doing the social distancing as much as we can, and staying home, staying self-quarantined.
Could you clarify, we know what's closed in Allegheny County, almost everything. What's closed in Beaver County?
Well, pretty much all state-run agencies, we got word that Career Link and those kinds of places have all shut down. Our senior centers have been shut down. We shut down the ice rink. We've left the parks open still, and we've taken steps to minimize the exposure inside the courthouse. Those that can work from home are starting to be told to work from home and trying to mitigate as much as we can the impact of people in the courthouse.
Do you think more needs to be done here, or do you think that you've done what you can and now it's up to individual businesses and business owners?
I think it's just what Governor Wolf said. We can't force anyone to do anything, but I hope people would look at the big picture of being a good citizen and a community member and pay attention to what's going on and not go out in public unnecessarily. And to continue, if they don't feel well, stay home. If you're sick, don't come to work, and just adhere to those common courtesies that we would expect with anybody that's sick for any reason to enter the workplace or place of business.
For people who aren't sick, for bars and restaurants in this area who are staying open regardless of what the governor is saying, what would you say to them tonight?
I would say to them, I have great empathy. I've worked with small business owners for 15 years. I have great empathy, especially for the restaurant business. I know how difficult that business is. To shut down for 2 weeks, let alone 2 months, is a really, really difficult thing for them to do. I understand why they would be tempted to not close their doors. But at the same time, you're doing a disservice to the community, your workers, and everybody else by staying open and being a gathering spot where this thing could spread.
When did we find out about this person? What time did you guys find out?
Department of PEMA notified our emergency management services at 7 p.m.
And just to clarify, you don't have an age, name, if they even live in the county, or that you know that they do live in the county?
At this time, we have a confirmation from PEMA that we have one confirmed case of COVID-19 in Beaver County.
In Beaver County, that's how it is.
Okay.
Any other words to your residents? And are your schools closed? I'm sorry.
Yes.
They closed
All
before the
schools.
state did, actually.
Yes, all schools are closed. I think the only words of encouragement we can give to the residents is stay inside as long as you have to. That's one of the only things that's going to prevent this virus from spreading. As we said, our facilities here are, please only come if you're mandated to, such as a court hearing or something along those lines. There's a lot of things at the county you could do online. Please do that if you can. That's one of the messages we really
So
want
court
to get.
hearings are still going on?
At this time, President Judge Richard Mancini has taken action. He sent a memorandum out today of limiting foot traffic. He's starting to take the essential rules, such as what Allegheny County is doing. We should be hearing more from him tomorrow, but this time there are still things that are taking place on the second floor here at the courthouse, but we do have no jury trials. All the jury trials that would have been scheduled have been canceled.
We're out in the public and we talk to people all the time and we hear it's not that bad, it's not that bad. It obviously is. Our numbers have doubled in the United States. I just feel like leaving bars open, I know that's their right, but I think, is it your responsibility to tell the public to stay in? It's very serious.
And I think that's what we're doing here. Hopefully, we're trying to get a message out, a unified message that it is important to stay inside. Only go out when you have to. As the governor said today, if you go to the grocery store normally once a day or once a week, continue to do that. Continue as if it's a normal week. Go get your groceries. Don't panic, but stay inside as much as you can. Only go outside when it's essential and you have to. Any other questions?
Anything else you'd like to say to residents?
Please follow the CDC and the Department of Health's guidelines. Continue to stay updated on what's going on, the changes, as we all three of us said, this is changing hourly, not just daily, hourly, and we'll have that posted on our county website, and any more information we could get to get out to the public, we will.
As Dan said earlier, quoting the governor, stay calm, stay safe, stay home. I think that sums it up.
I spoke with my cousin who lives in Italy today, and they're pretty stringent. They won't leave the house. They have one person per household that will leave and go to the grocery store, and it's only one person. So he told me 2 weeks ago that it wasn't bad, and he just called me today and said it's bad, real bad.
How is that for you? That hits home for you personally.
Yes, it hits home because what's happening there could possibly happen here. And we're trying to get ahead of it. We're trying to lessen the curve and try to protect our citizens. We could learn from other people's, what they're going through. And that's hopefully what we're trying to do here. Limit contact. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
I think everyone need that tomorrow, correct?
Good tomorrow. Yep.
I
They already
set
have
up over there. I gotta leave on at 10, and I gotta edit another piece. So.
Does Rudy want to